may or may not know this about me, but I'm a huge fan of fighting games, and also a pretty big fan of Marvel, both inherited to me by my old man, whether it be getting my butt kicked in Street Fighter, even though I'd probably say we're probably on even ground now, wouldn't you say, old man? And the Marvel part goes even deeper than that, with my middle name being Logan after Wolverine himself. My old man made sure that I knew my fair share of Marvel stuff. So it only makes sense to be a huge fan of the Marvel vs. Capcom series. So today, I decided I'm going to do my top 5 characters on the Marvel side and the Capcom side that I'd like to see in the new upcoming Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. So, let's hit it. Okay, so to start off with, I'm just going to say 2 characters that I feel like should have been in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but for some reason they weren't. So these aren't my top 5, they're just more like honorable mentions, I guess. First off on the Capcom side is Ken. I feel like if you're gonna have Ryu, you should probably have Ken in there too. I know they're very similar, but it just makes sense. And on the Marvel side, I would say Cyclops. I was always a fan of using him, and I just feel like he's kind of the leader of the X-Men, so it just makes sense to have him in there too. So, number 5 on my Marvel list would be Venom, Spider-Man's arch nemesis, or whatever you want to call it. I've always liked Venom. He's probably one of my favorite villains in, like, anything. He was in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and it would be awesome to see him return in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Number 4. So I heard a rumor that X-Men characters aren't very likely for Marvel vs. Capcom, and they're focusing more on the MCU. But I'm still gonna put a few in here because, I mean, Dad loving Wolverine, I know a lot about X-Men, more than most other Marvel sides, so of course I'm gonna have a few favorite X-Men. So that being said, my number 4 would be Gambit.
Those are mighty nice tags you have on there, sir. The men who took me wore tags just like them. Now, bub, you listen to me.
Gambit's actually been in the series since the beginning, I believe. X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2. They did not put him in 3, which was kinda sad. Gambit's been one of my favorite X-Men for quite some time. And with those card combos and also his staff, he's a pretty awesome character to be playing with. So it would be awesome to see him come in as DLC or something eventually for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Alright, my number 3 would be Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler! Now Nightcrawler is another X-Men, so it's not very likely, but possible in the future for DLC or something. But he's never been in the series, so I think it would be interesting to see a teleportation character in the game. They kind of did something similar to what they could do with Nightcrawler with Virgil. He had some moves where he disappeared and appeared behind you. They could do something on that, build up on that, and make some pretty awesome combos. So yeah, that's something I would definitely like to see. My number 2, now getting into the MCU characters that are actually possible and probable to be in the series, would be Star-Lord.
Who? Well, Star-Lord, man. Legendary outlaw. Forget it.
from Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, I didn't know much about him before the movie, but seeing the movie made me pretty interested. And he has quite a few tricks up his sleeve. So I think it would be pretty awesome to see him duke it out with some Capcom characters. And my number one pick for Marvel would be Bucky Barnes.
Bucky? Who the hell is Bucky?
The Winter Soldier. So, again, like Star-Lord, I didn't know much about the Winter Soldier before I saw the movie. Now, the movie, The Winter Soldier, made me fall in love with, well, the Winter Soldier. He is just such a tough soldier, and was kicking even Steve Rogers' butt in the movie, and, I just feel like he would be a really good character to have in the game. They could give him a whole arsenal of guns to use, as well as some hand-to-hand awesome combat. Put some knife skills in there. That is by far one of my favorite fight scenes in a movie. And like his power arm, that would be a force to be reckoned with. And he would definitely be on my Marvel side team. Now on to Capcom. Alright, number 5 on my Capcom side. I know it's probably a stretch. Well, it definitely is a stretch. She's probably not going to make it in the game, and half of you probably don't even remember her, which is ironic because she's from the game called Remember Me. Nilin. Yeah, that game did pretty bad. The concept was really cool, how she could like control your memories or like look into your memories and whatnot. I actually think that the character is pretty darn attractive too. It was just that the game pretty much fell flat. They had a good concept, a like awesome character, but the game, the story, kind of just didn't really pan out, and the ending was not great at all. But I mean, combat-wise, she was pretty interesting. They had a bunch of different moves that she uses that involved like memories or like downloading different sorts of moves. I don't know. It was actually a really long time ago, and I barely remember it. I don't know. I just thought it'd be cool to take a different character that many people forgot and throw her in here and give her some awareness, but I doubt it's gonna happen. Number 4. Number 4, last second I kind of split it in half. For 2 characters I would like to take the spot. My 2 favorite Street Fighter characters, Ibuki and Yang.
Let's go!
So you! Looks like you couldn't avoid that one.
They both started in Street Fighter 3. Yeah, Yang was my first ever Street Fighter character I took as my own. But I doubt he's gonna make it because they didn't put him in Street Fighter 5, and I doubt they're going to. They didn't put him in Cross Tekken. So that's why I had Ibuki on my list. I mean, I'd rather have Yang in there, but Ibuki is a lot more probable. I think she's been in every Street Fighter game since 3, since she was announced. So, I mean, she has a much better chance, and she just got into Street Fighter 5, so I mean, maybe they'll want to get more people looking at, or buying the season pass, or actually picking up Street Fighter 5, so I mean, they could put her in there. I don't know. They'll probably choose someone else from that one, but I mean, I would love to see Ibuki and definitely Yang in this game. Number 3. I know he's already in it. He was in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 for the first time, but he was definitely, when I saw him, I'm like, that's my guy, and that was my main for Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And who I'm talking about is Dante. I'm pretty sure he was a fan favorite when Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came out. I'm not exactly sure because I didn't play in tournaments and I wasn't good enough to play online. But I know I love to play him, and I've asked a couple other people and they said that he was in their group too. So, I mean, he's probably going to be in it, but one thing I would change, well, there's 2 things that could happen. Or I guess 3. 3 is they could just keep him as is Dante from Resident Evil 3, which is probably the most popular Dante, I'd say. Definitely the coolest. But I think they might do one of the other 2 options, I think. Or I'm thinking about are, one is they could do DMC Dante.
Oh, come on!
Now don't click off. I know that a lot of people have mixed views on that Dante. Me personally, I can't stand his personality. It's way more punk, know-it-all kid than it is Dante, who was cool and aloof. So DMC Dante, I hate his personality, but you have to admit that that game was still awesome. The combat in it, how he could switch from a scythe to, what was that big demon axe, and the whip, definitely the whip, using it to whip and grab enemies towards you, or grab an enemy and pull yourself towards them. A pretty awesome game mechanic, and I feel like they could put that in Marvel vs. Capcom in some pretty awesome ways. But what I'd ideally like to see would be Dante from Dante from Devil May Cry 4, because he still had some pretty awesome weapons in that game, a lot are similar to what he had in 3. I know he had some gauntlets in 3, and he has similar gauntlets in 4. But the main thing, I would love to see him get the Lucifer weapon, which was like throwing like red beams or like flaming blades into the wall and then exploding them all at once. I mean, you gotta admit that's pretty awesome.
Satisfied. You are set free.
My number 2 for Capcom would be Leon S. Kennedy.
Those infected with this virus will attack other people, anyone, without exception. In all cases, the people that are bitten become infected themselves and go on to attack others. The only way to stop the spread of infection is to destroy the infectees' brains.
Destroy their brains?
Shoot them in the head.
Now I know that he is a fan favorite in the Resident Evil universe. I don't know why they wouldn't put him in here. I think they're thinking about making, or there's rumors of a HD remake of Resident Evil 2. I know fans are definitely wanting it, so I mean, yeah, Leon is definitely a fan favorite in the Resident Evil universe. The Resident Evil characters did a pretty great job in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and I personally, my favorite character is Leon, so that's why I would love to see him in this game. And there's also, obviously, Resident Evil 7 is coming out next week, and there's also Resident Evil Vendetta, new CGI Resident Evil movie with Chris and Leon in it, so I mean, there's a lot of Leon going on, so I think it would be a perfect time to put him in. And my number 1 for Capcom is...
You got a jacked up notion of fair play, pal. And it's beginning to piss me off.
Nero from Devil May Cry 4. Now Dante's awesome, but I personally like Nero a lot more. His voice actor has a lot to do with that, but his personality, like Dante just doesn't seem to care about anything, but like you can tell that Nero has a lot more heart, and he has a reason behind his journey to save Kyrie. So I love that about him. Another thing is his sword, the Red Queen. I know people say it's cheesy that it has like a motor, you can rev it up, whatever.
I guess this doesn't quite cut it. What's the point of packing a sword like that if you aren't even gonna use it?
It's one of my favorite weapons of all times. So, I mean, I loved that mechanic, and just playing as Nero at the beginning, it's like, who the heck is this guy? Give me Dante. But now, I like him a lot more than Dante. The way they used his Devilbringer arm to grab enemies towards him to finish a combo, or grab an enemy and throw him onto the ground, or grab a weapon out of the air and throw it back at the enemy, is just super cool. And you can tell that Capcom liked that idea because they definitely capitalized on it in DMC, Devil May Cry. But Nero was one of my favorite characters, and I would cry if they announced him for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. So that is my top 5 characters I would like to see in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite on both the Marvel and the Capcom side. So, if you liked my video, I would really appreciate a like. Comment who you would like to see in the new Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I'm really curious to see what other people would like to see in this game. I am super excited for this game, and I can't wait to get it in my hands. Anyways, I'm Zedis, and thanks for watching. I will view you guys later.